Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for another video. We have a college football video today. We're going to be looking at the new Vegas odds that just came down on who has the best odds, the best probability to win the Big Ten in the 2025 college football season. We know it's still really early. There's a lot of time until we actually get into college football play for this year, but it's never too early to start looking at the news that we have coming down the horizon. Who Vegas is early predicting has the best shot to win the Big Ten, to get that first round bye, to make the playoffs, but also to kind of have a gauge on how Vegas is projecting these teams to do going forward based off of the way the rosters, the schedule, and the talent looks right now. But first things first, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to drop a comment below. Do you agree, disagree? Drop them below, and I will make sure to respond to everyone. We are going to be looking at the 247 Sports website. They have these odds put on there, looking at every team in the Big Ten Conference through them all. This is a big conference. There's a lot of really talented teams. Obviously, you have the defending national champions, the Ohio State Buckeyes. They're going to come in here with the best odds, obviously, to win the Big Ten, to potentially win the national championship back-to-back seasons. They have a lot of praise coming into this season, but I'm just going to kind of call it like it is, guys. I think it's a little too high to give them the best, the number one odds in the Big Ten, because the team that won the national championship was an experienced, veteran, senior-laden team. That's actually not going to be the team that we have suiting up this season. There's going to be a lot of first-year starters. Yes, a very talented team. As of right now, ESPN still has them ranked as the number 3 overall roster in all of college football, blue chip wise. They are loaded 4-star, 5 stars. Props to Ryan Day for filling this team the way a college football team needs to be filled. To me, they will be competing for the Big Ten. They will be competing for the playoffs. They will be competing for the national championship. But there's some other teams in the Big Ten that to me have a little bit of an edge when it comes to starting out this season, because they are replacing less starters. But the Buckeyes lead the way right now. They are plus 155 to win the Big Ten. Don't remember, last season they won the national championship, but they actually didn't win the Big Ten. It was the Oregon Ducks who went undefeated the whole regular season, ran through it, won the Big Ten, lost first round in the playoffs. Though, will the Ducks be able to repeat? When you're looking at Ohio State, very talented team, but all their guys are gone. Howard's gone. Egbuka's gone. Junkins, Henderson, loaded team. They still have Jeremiah Smith. Sayan's going to be getting the nod at the quarterback position, but this is a guy who has no college football Division I starts under his belt. It's a tall task to ask him to come in first season as a starter, win the Big Ten, potentially compete for the national championship. But I would not be surprised if it happens. As of right now, Vegas is saying they are the front runners. It's not just the players that are gone from last season's team. Don't forget, all of their juniors came back for their senior season just to win the championship. They had the number 1 defense in all of college football. They're replacing both of their coordinators. Chip Kelly off to the NFL, $6 million per season. He's gone. Knowles is off to Penn State, the number 1 overall defense in all of college football. Their coordinators are gone. They will be able to replace them. Obviously, Patricia coming in to coach the defense, and you have Hartline getting promoted up to the offensive coordinator. So there's going to be some similarity there. But they're replacing coordinators. They're replacing talent. But as of right now, Vegas still has them predicted to win the Big Ten, the best odds. I think it's a little too high. Coming in at number 2, we have the Oregon Ducks at plus 250. Obviously, the Ducks are also replacing a lot of pieces, but they have pieces coming back on the offensive line. This team and Dan Lanning, they've been built in the trenches. They have a top 5 overall roster in the nation right now. Coming in at number 5, they are talented. But obviously, Dante Moore coming in here, he's probably going to be the projected guy to win the starting quarterback position. Dillon Gabriel, he was a super senior. He was in like his 8th to 10th year of college football. He's finally gone. Now they're breaking in a new starter. Dante Moore, 5-star guy coming out of high school, transferred to Oregon. A very talented guy, big arm. He's mobile. This team is loaded with playmakers. They're bringing back a lot of their playmakers from last season. Some guys are gone, though. Some guys were seniors, but this is a team that had a top 20 offense, top 20 defense. They are very talented, and they are the defending Big Ten champions, their first season in the Big Ten. Coming in at number 3, a team that's going to be getting A lot of praise. This is a team who's beaten Ohio State, what, 3 or 4 straight seasons right now. They didn't win the Big Ten last season. They weren't competing to win the Big Ten last season, but they had one of the hotter ends to the regular season in all of college football, and they followed that up with a bowl win versus the Alabama Crimson Tide. Back-to-back seasons beating the Tide. They had Sherrone Moore coming in their first season as the full-time head coach. Yeah, they got 8 wins, but it's the way they perform down the stretch, playing Michigan-style football, lining it up, running it down your throat. Underwood's coming in, 5-star quarterback. They're going to be breaking in a lot of pieces, though, with a freshman quarterback who's probably going to be the starter day one. I think that definitely hampers this team. There's going to be growing pains here. Right now, to me, you're probably looking at maybe a floor of 7 wins to a ceiling of 9 wins, somewhere in that range. That would still be a great season. You're still building on where you left off last season. You have a lot of young guys coming in, just like with Harbaugh, those first seasons when he won the national championship. It was a senior team. Freshman, junior seasons, they were laying that foundation. Once they got to junior, once they got to senior, they were ready to compete on the national stage. Penn State's kind of the one you really have to keep your eye on. Yes, they lost Warren. Warren was 90% of this team's offense, but Knowles, the defensive coordinator that coached the number 1 defense at Ohio State, he's moving from the Buckeyes to in-conference Penn State. They lost Tim Allen. This is a team that had the number 3 defense in all of college football. They had a top 20 offense. Yes, Drew Aller down the stretch was not performing like the experienced veteran quarterback you wanted, but he's back for a senior season. Seems like this guy's been playing college football for 10 years now, but this is only his 4th or 5th season. A very experienced quarterback, and this is his last eligible season. When he wants to go to the NFL draft, a lot of people have him predicted as a first-round pick. When he comes out, he's going to want to make sure to have his best season this season. Save the best season for your senior year. They had one of the best 1-2 running back combos in the nation last season. Allen, Singleton, they're bringing those guys back. They're deep on the lines. They're going to have a top 5 defense. It's the offense where they have to continue to take those strides going forward. Where people liken this team to is going to be the Michigan team from 2 years ago that won the national championship. A lot of highly regarded juniors that came back just to win the championship. And the same thing for the Buckeyes this past season. A lot of juniors came back just to win the national championship. You have that happening with Penn State potentially in 2025. A lot of juniors coming back to make a run at the Big Ten and to make a run at that national championship. Coming in at 5, this is a pretty high position on this list. You have the USC Trojans, Mayava at quarterback. Miller Moss is gone. To me, Miller Moss got kind of a bad run there, pushed out at the end. He's off to Louisville. They lost a lot of weapons. They lost Branch to Georgia. A lot of their playmakers are gone, but this is a USC team. You know you don't have to worry about their defense. Lincoln Riley got the defensive coordinator right. Lynn, great defensive coordinator. They're going to have a top 30 defense. When you have Lincoln Riley as the offensive coordinator and the head coach, and know this team's going to score some points, just give them some more time. They finished this season strong there at the end, had a respectable season first year in the Big Ten, but the spotlight is on Lincoln Riley this season. He has to perform or he's potentially going to be out, but they come in 5th best odds. The next team that I'm going to look at on our list here, you see Iowa Hawkeyes with plus 3,500 odds to win the national champion, to win the Big Ten. With Iowa, Kirk Ferentz, he's like the longest tenured coach in all of college football right now, but it's the same problem. Every season, they struggle to score points. The season before this past season, so 2 years ago, they had the number 130th offense in the nation, still finished with the top 5 defense. Their defense is on the field the entire game until they get some type of modern offense, some type of offense that can at least score 30 points per game. Just give me a top 60 offense, and this team can win the Big Ten. They can make the playoffs, but I'm going to have to see them take that step forward. We know they're going to play special teams. They're going to punt. They're going to play great elite level defense, but we have to see that offense get modernized. And your next best odds, they have Washington, they have Maryland. I would say the outlier you need to keep your eye on is Matt Rule and Nebraska. They're at plus 7,500. Matt Rule, Raiola, another season. He should take some steps going forward. This is a team that when they're healthy, you know Matt Rule, they're going to be disciplined. They're going to play line of scrimmage trench warfare football. They're going to have a great offensive line. They're going to have a great defensive front seven. They're going to get after it. They're going to be much improved over last season. This past season, they were better than the first season, but they kind of had a pretty sloppy end to the season. Started out the season, jumped into the top 25, then they quickly got kicked out. But this is a team who could finish in the top 25 this season with an easy regular season schedule. They could potentially, and they have a shot to find themselves at playing for the Big Ten championship. But as of right now, to me, the front runners we have the Buckeyes, the Ducks, the Wolverines, the Nittany Lions, the Trojans, the Hawkeyes, and the next one I would throw up there would be the Nebraska Cornhuskers. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I say the Oregon Ducks are probably going to repeat as Big Ten champions. Next one out, I would say that's probably going to be the Penn State Nittany Lions. This is a team with a veteran squad coming back. They have one of the best shots to win the Big Ten. I just think it's too much to ask Ohio State to win the Big Ten with completely all new starters at almost every single position, even with Jeremiah Smith coming back, and new coordinators on the offense, on the defense, but they're probably still going to make the playoffs. That's all that matters. They showed you don't have to win the Big Ten to win the national championship. And at the end of the day, it's not the conference champion that matters. It's the national champion. Guys, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. If you have any comments, drop them below, and I will respond. Thank you.